Hey y'all, it's Kim again. So I've got so many of these that I've saved, like just from the weekend. This one I think popped up today, but here's another meme, and I don't know how you could dispute it, but it says Democrats support killing babies, transitioning kids, men and women's sports, which they just voted for that. Open borders, we know that. Criminals, they wanted to ship them back here. Cartels, affirmative action, gun control, communism, assassination. Did y'all hear about the 55% of Democrats that say that they believe that assassinating Trump will be great for the country? Dispute it. All right, Nazis, pedophiles, illegal aliens, terrorists, drug users, drag queens, racism, fascism, rogue judges, and DEI. It says government paid protesters and government corruption, all while still thinking they know better than anyone else. Exactly. Don't believe mass media narrative of narrow split in this country. Normal, ethical, and moral America is 80% of the population. That's actually probably pretty true. Most people are not thinking about all this weird stuff and wanting all of these things. All right, let's move on. So it says Trump derangement syndrome is a disease. It's a condition where objective thinking and rational judgment are entirely consumed by extreme hatred. Logic and reason are compromised by a false data set of biases and or bias and propaganda. Reclaim your mental clarity by turning off mainstream news and avoid the corrosive influence of left-wing propaganda and misinformation. It says very, very unfortunate who are suffering with TDS ever recover sadly. Oh, very few, excuse me, very few unfortunates who are suffering with TDS ever recover sadly. Can't we get pharma to make an mRNA vax for that? It says America loves them, or excuse me, loves Team Trump. And then this person says fall for white right wing propaganda instead. I'd like a source on left wing propaganda too. Sounds interesting since the ideology is for the people. Huh? Is for the people and not central to going to when times were better, but can't define when that time is. I'm not quite sure what they're saying. And then there's that. Deal with it. Oh no. Oh, Michael trying to get out of the Houdini vest. All right, so let's move on. Uh, it says when you ask a protest,
Hey mate, love that
what?
sign. Can you tell us a little bit more about it and maybe what you're protesting? Yeah, of course, mate. This is my sign, mate, and myself. Basically, well, what am I protesting? I think we just fucking hate Elon Musk. Interesting, mate. Is it safe to say you're a fucking moron? Yeah, exactly right, mate. Basically, what I am is a public nuisance. I'm unemployed. And what I like to do is I like to go outside and fuck with people who actually have real jobs. So what you're telling me is you guys have no real moral standing or any real belief system at all. What I like to do is make little signs, go outside on weekdays and protest shit I know nothing about, mate. I like the honesty, mate. What's your name? My name is Crystalline. I'm a Z-Zin. I'm not from this planet. I'm also part Badger. I don't want to waste your time, mate. You seem like a busy person, but what do you do for a living? I'm curious. I'm going to be honest, man. I don't really have a job. That's why I'm out here on a fucking Wednesday with a sign that I made myself. Fight the power! Fight the power, yeah. Hey, mate.
That about sums it up. It says when you ask Tesla protesters what they stand for, it says I love that even an Aussie calls out their BS. Welcome to America. It says I'm unemployed, and basically what I like to do is f with people who actually have real jobs. It says not all heroes wear capes. Some are Australian. That was pretty good when I saw that pop up in my timeline. Anyway, I just like to make little signs. Anyway, oh man, let's see. It says, have you ever wondered why you almost never see large groups of conservative protesters? It is because we have jobs to go to when we work. This is well said, sir. And then, never seen this level of commitment to destroying the country. Yeah, it says saw loads of them at the Capitol on January 6th. Oh, okay. Anyway, we're gonna go there. That's cool. And then it says it was a weekend, Slick. January 6th was a weekday. Okay. It says there are more unemployed MAGA than anyone. Maybe an education would have done you some good. January 6th was, according to the fool in charge, was the largest crowd. So you were saying. So J6 for all unemployed MAGAs, and maybe Ashley Babbitt. What a shit. Wow. Controlled and deadly if pushed too far. Word there, Huckleberry. I don't know what that means. What about all those record-setting Trump rallies you guys love to brag about? And that's a lie. And January 6th proved that Sambo ass, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. But more of the weirdos. Okay, anyway.
Great news to start out this Monday. And that is this. Despite the lies of the mainstream media, and despite the stupid hands-off protests that you saw all over the country today, in which everybody was given a sign and a piece of paper in order to stay on brand, and what messages to chant, bus drivers taking them all over the country, dropping them off so they could pretend like they were passionate about what they were protesting about. Well, there are several new polls out that say that President Donald Trump's popularity has risen since imposing the tariffs. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. President Trump overall is up 4 points in his approval rating numbers ever since imposing the tariffs and announcing Liberation Day. Now, of that 4%, when you break it down even further, he's up 17% with Black voters. He is up 6% with Democrat and independent voters. Yes, you heard that right. Democrat and independent voters. And ladies and gentlemen, he's up a massive percentage when it comes to 18 to 29-year-olds. So all across the board, Donald Trump is up, which means that the people of the United States are no longer going to be brainwashed by these stupid, paid for, well-funded, and well-planned out scheduled protests. The fake outrage is just that, fake outrage, and the American people know what's going on. We are no longer an ignorant country when it comes to our politics. We are very, very in tune. Thank you to the independent media outlets who have brought all this information to the people over the last 8 years when the mainstream media tried to hide it all. We got it out there to the public, myself and many others included, and now we are no longer an ignorant voting base. We know.
So anyway, it says this blows up the fake outrage and mainstream media narrative. Hold on. Of mass hysteria. We're purging the scum and the corruption out of our country. Stand firm. And yes, Trump is the best president of our lifetime. It's all about getting free money. Huh? Woohoo. Yahoo. Love this platform. Let's keep winning, USA. This is right on. And the IRS should go after these protesters. I'm sure they're not claiming their $200 per protest on their taxes. Probably not. I mean, you don't have to file unless it's 600 or more. But anyway, let's keep going. Oh, girls that say they won't date a Trump supporter. Ew. It says zero lies detected. Yeah, we have standards the libtards can't meet. And actually, that's the same for Trump supporters. Only difference is they don't have teeth. What? Okay. This is basically smiling. And then it says, these comments were hidden because they may be misleading, offensive, or spam. People can still tap to view them. Let's see what they've got down here. It says, ew. How is that misleading? I mean, it's gross. It's just gross. All right, let's move on.
Aren't going to raise car prices, they said. They're actually going to give American buyers a discount. Huh? Toyota says they're not going to raise prices. And Nissan is beefing up SUV production in Tennessee. That came just hours after GM shifted their truck manufacturing back to Indiana. Barack said he didn't have a magic wand to bring jobs back. Well, Trump just waved his wand around, and 228,000 jobs appeared in March.
We blew it out of the water. Even all the economists that looked at this thought we were going to have a depressed jobs report, and we didn't. So that's a testament to the president, the economic output that he is doing. Look at the Rose Garden that we had the other day. Who was in the audience? It was all the American workers. We had our Teamsters there. We had our United Auto Workers there. We're seeing those investments pay
jobs on his way out. Trump hit the brakes, then hit the gas. Look at those jobs coming back. It's not just manufacturing. The ranchers, farmers, and fishermen love it.
Our egg sector gets decimated by other countries tariffing our beef imports, our shrimp, our catfish. They tariff us at up to 50% of our exported egg products and then dump mass-produced egg products into our market, severely harming our farmers and our ranchers.
Listen to this guy. Ready? It's really common sense.
This lighter costs $25 in America to buy an American-made product, okay? China makes one, sells it for $20 here in America. Out of that $20, $5 goes to whoever in America sells it. $15 of it goes back to China. You buy the $25 one in America, all $25 stays in America. So now we want to say, let's balance this out, and we're going to put a 50% tariff on Chinese goods. Now this lighter costs $30 to sell in the United States. Now you have the US made one at $25. It is cheaper. It's more expensive in the big picture, I get it. But it's now cheaper, so people are going to buy the American made one. And I'm not a pro-Trumper at all. But I believe in it. I'm a business owner. I know how it works.
Yeah.
Ford.
So anyway, everybody freaking out over the tariffs. It's like, there's like a logic behind it. You just got to be patient and let it ride. Because, I mean, if it's bringing businesses back, like what Jesse Waters is reporting here, then that's better for America, right? American made, won't be tariffed, jobs created. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a win-win. Anyway, let's keep going.
While we fighting with Greenland, we fighting with Canada, we fighting with Mexico, yet we in love with Putin. What is happening?
I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no.
And like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up. While we fighting with Greenland, we fight.
She's just trash. I mean, it says she's the face of the Democrat Party. That says it all. End of story. Okay, Representative Jasmine is a great representation of her constituents. The people who voted for this are getting everything they wanted. That's for damn sure. And democracy. DEI has entered the chat. Imagine this clown got elected. Embarrassment. And then woke at its finest. Not like us from the streets. And she is so ghetto. It's a fake act, though. I think it's just pandering to her base. I fully believe that. I don't think there's anything ghetto about her. She went to private school from what it's been reported. So it says, where'd they find her? The Popeyes parking lot. Oh my gosh. Let's keep going here. She's trash. Says, I drive stupid people completely insane. Yes, he does. TDS, anyone? TDS, yes. And it's like he knows what he's doing.
Thank you very much. We're going to talk about taxes. That's right.
Taxes that she's been stealing. Okay, it says angry Elizabeth Warren humiliates herself. It says Elizabeth Warren is losing her mind over Trump and Elon and her crazy hands. Name calling and bad jokes give away her anger. It says OMG, no one believes her rhetoric. Okay, rhetoric. It's anyway. Okay, this indicates the fact that her funds are cut off. Yeah.
Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the spineless Republicans in Congress. Now, here's the trick in the game. They created a sandstorm hoping that we will be talking about 50 other things while they try to advance this budget. over the next 36 hours. There's lots going on. There's tariffs, there's invading Greenland. Who knows what Donald Trump has done just while we've been standing up here. Only people who really support this are the billionaires themselves. Why do that? Because the Republican approach is deeply unpopular. Not just unpopular with Democrats, it is deeply unpopular with Democrats, with Republicans, with independents, with libertarians, with vegetarians.
Okay,
Thank you very
I
much.
I can't listen anymore. She's just dumb as shit. Pocahontas needs to shut up because this is what we voted for. Anyway, I just can't with her. It's just like lies and propaganda again, gaslighting, because her uninformed constituents won't know the difference. All right, let's go on. It says me when my liberal friends started to trust the government, listen to big pharma, support wars, push to limit free speech, and say trust the science. They at least used to be a little more normal with a smidge of common sense. It says me when my conservative friends trust the government, listen to billionaires, support tariffs, limit free speech, say protect Elon at all costs. Okay, let's see what these people have to say. Says they're tearing down the corporations. How the F are we the ones supporting them? And then you know how you liberals suggested to just do it to Trump. You should to yourself. Whoa. Username checks out. What is it? Clark Gold 19. I don't know. Oh, politically incorrect. Oh. And they also know they didn't vote for someone was literally endorsed by the KKK. There's a correct side history to be on. And fellas, you ain't it. And then Reuters, Ku Klux Klan. Oh, declare support for Trump. Okay, well, I don't know about that. Let's see what this pulls up. And even if it's true, what just because somebody endorses him doesn't mean that they like are that he's going to take their money. Hold on, let's see here. I mean, he's not bought and paid for. Let's see. This is from 2016. Never mind. I'm not going that freaking far back. I don't care. This says Barack Obama convinced Democrats that it was cool to be a neocon, warmongers, and corporate shills. Liberals love war because it means our kind goes out to die while they stay here and collect unemployment. Well, yeah. Anyway. Oh Lord.
Parking next to that thing.
So what?
I don't want to be anywhere near that thing. I don't want to get out near that thing. Oh my gosh, it's right there. That means they're in there. Whoever.
So what she's mad about is what I understand is that there's a Tesla truck in the parking lot that says EDS level 500, can't even be near a Tesla. It says definitely a CNN and MSNBC watcher. Pure hate for America and its citizens. Wouldn't it be nice to look or to lock her in the Tesla and just videotape? One too many booster shots. But I mean, how old is this lady? Probably like 80, and she's acting like this, like throwing an absolute tantrum. And I don't know if this is supposed to be like a joke, but I mean, I can imagine that there's people actually in our society that are acting this way. She's probably 80. And acting like a total moron and having a meltdown over this.
What's that?
We are not parking next to that thing.
So what?
I don't want to be anywhere near that thing. I don't want to get out near that thing. Oh my gosh, it's right there. That means they're in there. Whoever it is, they're gonna be in.
Oh my gosh.
We are not parking next to that thing.
Freaking out.
I don't want.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna be in there. What the hell? It says Democrats is the America's largest hate group. Yeah, I think so. I mean, they hate America, they hate the West, they hate anything that's good for America. So I mean, they vote against women, they vote against sane border policies. I mean, just look at all the stuff they voted for, man. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. All right, the stock market just
And now the
back.
Dow is in a little bit of a positive territory. So a little bit of volatility as people price in some of the discussions this morning, as the White House says over 50 countries have contacted the White House looking to negotiate or at least discuss tariffs, and then the president having that meeting with Netanyahu today at 2:00, a press conference at 2:30 during Sandra's show.
Yeah, and the president put out a statement that he had just gotten off the phone with the Japanese prime minister, that they were having productive conversations, and now just hitting, which seems to be when the markets turned around here, was that the EU is talking with the United States amid this tariff battle. And the statement from the EU is, we are ready to discuss with the US, but solutions need to be mutual advantage. So what you're getting is the sense that they're coming to the table.
Communications.
The negotiations are happening.
Sure.
And
so, I mean, pretty much it bounced back, even though people were freaking out and doom scrolling and saying, oh, it's going to be Black Monday and all this other stuff. Yeah, I mean, we might suffer a little bit, but if you don't own any stocks, what difference does it make to you? A lot of people don't own stock. I mean, I have like 3 different stock apps on my phone, but I mean, I'm not a major player in the stock market. I mean, I just have a few, like, very small amounts. But I mean, I've gone in there and looked at, like, say, the Robinhood app, and you can see some days it goes up, some days it goes down, but that's kind of the market. But right now, it's not that far off from this 38,000. So anyway, I mean, it looks like 50 other countries contacted him to make a deal. And that's the biggest thing. Make a deal, make it fair. Don't be tariffing our stuff, and we won't tariff yours. Duh. I don't see why the Democrats can't figure that out, but hey, whatever. And it says, again, Trump is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Yeah. I mean, it's a very sophisticated thing, but you just got to know how to play people. And they say it's the heart of the deal. Anyway, one more, and then I'm going to stop for this one. It says liberals who can't pay their student loans trying to explain why tariffs are bad. That just basically sums it up. It says tariffs are bad because they sound like the beginning of terrible. Because the Dems are probably thinking that. It says liberalism, the most devastating mental illness to ever inflict mankind. If you study the history of tariffs, you see they aren't bad. Liberals only point out the bad tariff policies under Hoover, but ignore everything else. Anyway, it's just so crazy. These Democrats. Oh my goodness. I got more. I got a lot more. Lots and lots more. But anyway, I'm gonna stop this one. I'll share some more stuff because these people are out of their minds. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Talk to y'all later. Bye.